I'm not good enough. I don't do anything right. If you recognize that voice, well, that's your inner critic, the world's worst CEO, running your mental headspace like a toxic micromanager. And it demands perfection. It kills your confidence and grinds your progress to a halt. So today we're staging a coup. So welcome to the Sunday Spark. Hey there, welcome to the Sunday Spark, where we ditch those Sunday scaries and ignite some serious inspiration before the work week. I'm Faye Chappell, your semi-sassy guide and the founder of the Regeneration Company, and I'm here to help you crush burnout, brainstorm big ideas, and remember that success should actually feel good. So grab your coffee, strap in, and let's spark some insight. I'm Faye Chappell, and you are listening to the Sunday Spark. Today's mission, it's your inner critic. It's a terrible CEO, right? Why the pursuit of perfection is literally the fastest way to get absolutely nothing done. Let's talk a little bit today about how we can hack those fail fast Fridays that turn fear of mistakes into engines of innovation. So stick around, let's get started. Let's first talk about our entrepreneurs. Let's talk about a real world example. You know, I worked with a really brilliant founder, and let's call her Perfect Priya. She had a fantastic product, absolutely amazing, right? It was great, but she'd been polishing her website, her landing page for 6 months, and she was obsessed with getting the copy perfect. That design flawless, right? Her inner critic CEO was screaming, if it's not the best landing page ever created, don't you dare launch it. But meanwhile, zero new leads and zero new revenue from that channel. So we put her on a 7-day sprint, right? And day one was her only task was to journal on one question. What would a B minus version of this page look like? This short circuited her perfectionism, right? And day two, she built that B minus version. And day three, she pushed it live, terrified. And guess what? The imperfect page started converting at 2%. Not amazing, but it was data. So she used real user feedback, not her inner critic's fantasy, to actually make small tweaks. And within a month, that imperfect page was converting at 6%. 3 times her previous best. So she fired her inner critic CEO and hired her customer as her new boss. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is simple. Perfectionism is a fantasy and it kills momentum. Progress is made by shipping, by learning from real life data, by iterating what you need to do. Your inner critic hates data because it can't argue with results. But if you're in corporate, you know this is not just a solopreneur problem, right? Because in large companies, that collective inner critic manifests as a culture of caution. It's a fear of being the one whose project fails, right? We consulted with a tech company's R&D department where this was really rampant. They were slow, they were bureaucratic, and morale was low because everyone was terrified of making a mistake. So their inner critic CEO demanded flawless prototypes, which meant nothing got finished, right? So they implemented a radical new policy. It was called the Fail Fast Fridays. So every Friday afternoon, one team had to present an experiment that didn't work that week, and most importantly, share what they learned from that failure. And it was tense at first, but then it became a badge of honor, right? It celebrated learning, not just flawless execution. That psychological safety in the room skyrocketed, and the result? Their average time to market for new features was halved within 6 months of doing this because people were no longer afraid to try, to test, to break things quickly. I know I've done it. So here's your takeaway here. A culture that punishes mistakes, that gets stagnation, right? A culture that celebrates learning from mistakes gets innovation. So fire that corporate critic and hire curiosity instead. So all right, time for your personal coup, right? 3 quick actionable bites that you can use today to start silencing that terrible CEO. Number 1, the should to could flip. This is a journal prompt for you. So grab a pen and write down your harshest I should statement, right? I should be further in my career. I should have closed that deal. And now physically cross out that word should and write could above it. I could be further in my career. You feel that? Should is really a stick to beat you really over your head, right? Could opens up possibility, and it opens up choice, and it puts you back in the driver's seat. So think about that. Number 2, I want you to think about purging breath. So when you feel that critic spiraling, I want you to do this. I want you to inhale for 4 counts. I want you to hold for 2, and then long audible exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. So it's a 4, 2, 6. And as you exhale, I literally want you to imagine you are purging that useless, critical thought from your body. I want you to do it 3 times, and it's a psychological pattern interrupt. So you need to try to recognize when that inner critic comes, and then I want you to do that breath, and as you exhale, you're purging those thoughts out. The more you do it, the easier it will get to, okay? And then finally, I want to give you that 10-second board of directors voice memo. So I want you to pull out your phone right now. Pull out your phone and record a 10-second voice memo for your future self. I want you to speak to yourself like a wise, encouraging coach or a board member. So you want to say something like, you're on the right track. Ship that imperfect vision. Let's get data and improve from there. And I've got your back. So the next time your inner critic pipes up, you want to play this and you want to drown it out with your own wise counsel. So if you can't remember to breathe, here's a great one. Just record something that really puts down that inner critic, gets rid of it, and play it to yourself at the times that you need it most. You know, I read somewhere and this quote, and it stuck with me. The author is anonymous, I think, but the truth is really lethal. The amateur believes he must first overcome his fear. The professional knows that fear is just part of the process. So your inner critic is just fear with a loud microphone, right? So you want to acknowledge it and then do the work anyway, because nothing is going to keep you from what you need to do. So this really isn't fluff, right? I want you to really think about it. Micro actions like the ones we just discussed today, they really can change everything there is and really rewire your approach to work and self-worth. So stop letting a terrible inner CEO run your life and your business. Run it into the ground. I mean, that's not what you want to do. So it's time for a change in leadership, a time to change your inner CEO, your inner critic, into your ally. I'm Faye Chappell. This was Sunday Spark, and now go, ship, learn, and lead with confidence. Well, you've just had your Sunday Spark. How's that for a power-packed start to the week? If you're ready for more tips, laughs, and let's get real moments, be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with all of your friends and your crew. Got questions, insights, or just want to say hey? Well, head over to my website, faychappell.com, or any of the social media feeds, and I will be with you there. Until next time, keep that spark alive, and remember, your best life doesn't just happen, you have to create it.